Today we're going to take a look at my lawnmower that is running rough, it's consuming a lot of gas, and occasionally misfires as well. So there's a couple things we want to take a look at first. The first thing we can do is take a look at the spark plug to tell us the condition of the fuel in the mixture. So we start by taking this cap off. So you can tell by the black on the end, means it's running rich. So when it runs rich, that means it's got an excess of fuel that's being dumped in there. And it's not burning it all off. We also want to take off the cap for the air filter. Take a look there, see if anything's clogged up. So I have a new filter in here, new-ish, and doesn't look to be in too bad of a condition. Next, we're gonna take out the carb and take a look in there. So you want to take the whole carburetor assembly and the gas tank out at the same time. You can disconnect this right here for your throttle wire, and then you want to undo this screw, this one I believe. There might be one more. We'll start by taking this bolt out right here. And then we'll also take this bolt. Then you can remove this hose nozzle right here. You're also going to want to remove the bolt that's back here. That way you can disconnect this throttle wire. I have to wiggle it around a little bit and angle it around, but you can, there you go, pop this off. And now you have the carburetor assembly and the fuel tank right here that you can work on. We also want to make sure that there's no gas left in the fuel tank, so I'm going to pour the excess into here. All right. Now that it's all drained, we can remove the carburetor assembly from the fuel tank. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws right here. All right, we're gonna start by removing these screws here that attach the carburetor to the fuel tank. All right, go ahead. There's one. Now I should be able to lift this whole thing straight off. There we go. So, see if you can see here. See this gasket right here? It's what I believe happens on most old lawnmowers, where this gasket is preventing the fuel from the fuel tank from going up into the jets, into the carburetor. So with this not being fully sealed, it would make sense that it's bringing in excess gas into the combustion chamber when it's supposed to be pulling through this pipette right here and through the float assembly. So what we're going to do is replace this gasket. So here's the part number that I had. It's for my Briggs and Stratton motor. You'll have to look on your owner's manual to see the breakdown for what diaphragm that you need. And here's the replacement diaphragm right here. So with this replacement diaphragm, you just want to line it up here as best you can, making sure it's over the top of all the holes. And then you'll place this other piece also right on top. And you'll line everything up. Make sure it's all nice, clean, and flush. And I want to put the carburetor back on. Goes right through this hole. And you'll line up all of the slots. tighten these down all the way. So you'll go ahead and tighten down all the screws. Alright. Then you just want to go ahead and make sure they're all hand tight. You want to make sure they're not too hard, too tight in there that it squishes, but just a good solid hand tight is appropriate. Do that for all 5 screws. Now we'll just want to reinstall, doing basically the reverse of what we did before. So you start making sure that this goes in the throttle hook, gets mounted into that hole. It's probably the trickiest part. Okay, now that that's in, we want to put this cover plate back on. Okay, we're also going to attach this elbow onto here, and then get both the back side and this attached. There we go. Make sure everything's on secure there. And then we can put the long bolt back in. Okay, and then we want to make sure, this is a key part. If you want your throttle to go, put this hook right in there. That way when it's pulled, it'll come back to its resting position. All right, now you just want to tighten everything up. And finally, this last middle bolt. Alright, okay. Then you'll want to put the air filter back on. And it just goes face down like that into the bottom. Put the cap on. Put it right over top of the carburetor. Alright. So you're also going to want to replace your spark plug. Here's the spark plug that I'm using, but you can check what part number that you're going to need. Another important thing to do is make sure that the spark plug electrode is properly gapped. You want to use a gapper tool for that. It's only a couple bucks. You can find it at your local automotive parts store. But you'll insert it between the electrode and here and go as far as it can go. Right now it's about maybe 26, 27. It needs to be 30 thou gap. So you can just wiggle it a little bit, widen it out till it gets to 30. Right there. Now we can put that in the lawnmower. Now replace the spark plug with the new one. Put it back in here. And once again, you also just want to hand tighten. Not too tight, just enough to kind of lock it in. Alright. And you'll put this distributor cap on until it clicks. Now just need to fill it up with gas. Try it out. Now just fill up the tank. Screw the cap back on. We'll prime it and give it a shot. Okay, now we'll prime it up and give it a shot.